Good afternoon my YouTube friends, it's Margaret here from M.E.s Orchids, and what we're looking at now is the Vanda. Now this is called Tana Gold by Dr. Anek, and it's gold. It doesn't look gold to me through this lens. It's looking pinkish, but it isn't. It's gold, and those are tiny little maroon spots. There's a splash, if you like, of pink there, but it's really showing gold. And there's the other one, still out, and I think these have been out for quite a while. Now, you probably notice here I've just changed this little shelf around this morning, and the reason I've just changed it round is I've been checking the media, because all these here are either, well, technically they're in semi-hydro. Some have only got one hole, some have got two, but they've still got that 2 inches of water to wick up, either by the hydrogen or in some cases I've put that wicking material through. And now I have had some root loss. So what I've decided to do is, I've not had a lot of root loss, just a few bits and pieces, and those were the bits and pieces that were damaged as they went into semi-hydro. Now I've discovered that if you're going to put anything, if you're going to convert something, it's got to have completely healthy roots, because the roots that are damaged, to all intent and purposes, they will fail. And I've not had a bad root loss. Some have cut back just there, can you see? But also what I've decided to do anyway, is this layer of water here, I'm going to let that completely evaporate before I refill. And the reason for that is to enable the orchids just to have that period of dryness. And the only one I've not taken out is this big one here, because there's a hell of a lot of media in there. But the water level's down to about 1 inch now, and it was 2 inches. And all these, I've not disturbed this. This is still in the wicking method, and I think those roots are fine. But some of the others, that one, I've taken it out, removed just 1 or 2 roots. This one has got well, hardly any water level, and I will leave that for a few days now. So it's just erring on the side of caution more than anything. You see that one? That's the Vanda curvifolia. I've reduced that water level this morning just to that amount, because I'm finding that with our lower temperatures, and it's our shortest day today, 21st, that the orchid will stay too wet for too long, and I can't do with that. Now this one here is look at this, you see. Oops, let me just bring it down. Let me just bring this one down. This is Cattleya. I've lost my label, just bear with me a minute. Right, so this is Cattleya labiata for cerulean, and can you see the water in there? So I brought it over here because I don't want it to drip on the shelf, and that's in that wicking method. See, there's still enough water down there, so I don't need that extra water in that pot. And this, I think, seems to be doing okay. But you've got to be very careful. And I've got a little jar here. What I've been doing is that as I've been going round, I've just been emptying the water out and bobbing them back in. And then this one can go back up on the shelf now. And it's just basically, you know, because it's this time of the year, there's that growth. Can you see that growth there? which is there, you see. Sorry about that. It's just basically giving your orchids the chance, there's that growth, there, the new growth, without having the roots saturated. I don't want the roots saturated. Now, just go in. There we go. We've got that one behind. That's a that. Funnily enough, I've missed that one. Let's have a look. Let's just have a quick look. Actually, that's not doing too bad. So maybe I can leave that one. I've checked this one this morning. This is the Dendrobium famosum, Myanmar. Let's have a look. That's it. And this one, it's got that new growth there, but it's still objected. Doesn't like to be moved, and that's another thing. What have you learned for 2019, Margaret? Don't move your plants. Decide how you're going to grow them at the beginning and leave them alone. So that's the Dendrobium hildopoxum, speciosum by tetragonum. And although that looks in a long pot, it's only a little tiny pot. That's doing very nicely. And, these are two of the Masdevallias. The other ones are on the other shelf. This is the other Dendrobium, Dendrobium Dawn Marie by Runkamel. I've just gently pull this new growth upright, and that's how's that water level? Yes, it's just got about an inch at the bottom. So as I say, this is what I'm doing. That's little Stellus, of course. It's because 21st of December, if you like, we're going to come into our what we call the winter months, and our weather can be, well, it can be severe, and we don't want, what I don't want is for these that I'm trying to transition over to be sat in too much moisture. And these are the frags. Got a new growth down there. You'll see that one. These got watered yesterday, so they're doing fine. This is the Miltatia Royal Robe. That's in a self-watering pot, and a lot of them I can tell by the weight now. These are the Chrysotoxum, the one that I've put into this. This looks as though it's, let's have a look if it's a wicking method. Yes, that's a wicking method, and you see the wick, and that's showing a little bit of moisture in that tray, so that doesn't need to be watered. This one I move back and forwards because I've got the big grow light there, the full spectrum with the other light behind it, and that's another thing at the moment. I've just switched the grow light off so it doesn't show pink in the room, but this grow light, I've been having it on from 9 in the morning till 10 at night. It's been that dark. And if we go over to this area, of course, that's the other Chrysotoxum, and the roots there. We've got roots coming underneath, coming through all those dead roots, so that'll settle down nicely there. And a big surprise, bear with me, I want to move this water, I don't want to cause havoc. I'll bring this over here. And this is Sideria japonica. I'm still going by the name Sideria japonica because that's how it came. And a lot of people remember Sideria japonica. And I've got a flower spike. Look at that. I couldn't believe it. That's the first flower spike it's giving me. And I bought this in 24th of November 16, so it's taken me 3 years. 3 years. I've learned a lot in 3 years. I keep learning. I keep saying to myself. Now this is the Laelia rubescens, and you see the roots, and there's a little root there. Got a little leaf that's desiccating a little bit, but I still water this, but mainly I spray the roots, and I spray that little root just to keep it hydrated. And that goes there, and this one here, if it'll let me pull it down without me pulling everything over, this is Laelia lobata. You remember that root came through there, that root went over there, they both stopped, and as those both stopped, this one started. But that one seems to be doing fine. Got a little bit of discoloration there, and that's suitable, but you know, this is gone through the mill, and I'm hoping this next 6 months that they will grow on. And, let me just show this one. This is my Laelia autumnalis, and Todd of Todd's Tropicals has got one, and it's just flowered. And mine's no, it's not struggling, it's just not growing. Although we've got little bulges down there, which will hopefully send out new growths very, very soon. And that just stays up on the window there. And this top shelf here, you see at the moment we're 20.7 C, 52% humidity. There's that big Alaceris Samurai Renaissance Grandeur Fragrant. I've still got a little bit of concertina. That's, you see, that's in a wicking method, and I'm hoping that'll pull through. This one here is a rebloom for me. That's a Phalaenopsis. That one here, if I can just pull it down, bear with me, is the Dendrobium pendulum. Now this one here, this is a winter rester, and it blooms in the winter. There's that little nubbin there, and this is the cane. Can you see where they're starting to split? That was the cane that it came with. That was the cane that I grew on, the new cane. This is the other new cane here, and we've got this one here, and you see. So this one got watered yesterday. Won't get watered today, but it did get watered yesterday. I can't rest this one, not with this growth here and this growth here. So that sits up there, and I don't really notice whether I can bring you in a little bit. Can you see there? That was the little dendrobium that had been flowering for months and months. That inflorescence died back, and that's the new one. So I'm really thrilled with that. And of course this is the Cattleya walkeriana, doing wonderfully well, and this is the Scaphoglottis. That likes it here. That one, if anybody wanted an orchid, that is just, all you have to do is water it. Spray it all over, it loves it. No fuss, just do that every other day, and eventually it will flower for you, but they are minute. And of course this is the one that has rebloomed for me, still in bloom. Very nice. done this shelf here, we've done that shelf there, and if I bring you around here, so we've just got this period coming up to Christmas now, and let me have a look. I can bring this. This is the Dendrobium Forbesii, and this is in semi-hydro, but it's only got a very tiny reservoir of water, and I believe these don't particularly like high light, so I brought it down from the top shelf and I put it here, there, along with the oops, see, you tip it when you've got holes in them, you have to remember, tip the water out, and that's the Barkeria, or Barkeria. There we go. Me tipping the water out like that. That's why I'm very, very careful not to tip them while they're over the other orchids. And whether this will allow me to take one of these little Tolumnias out. Remember the ones that I put in these little tiny pots. See, there's still moisture in that. So little roots going down there, so they won't get watered. Nope, they won't get watered. And this is the top shelf. These are all doing fine. No problems. Everyone still growing. The only one I did have to change was this Laelia purpurata. Again, I'd got the container, it was in one of these self-watering containers, it was a big one, and it was too big, it was holding too much moisture. So I found this food container. I've lost quite a few roots, but I'm not too bothered, because Cattleyas, Laelias have this habit of dumping the leaves anyway. And see, this forward leaf here, this forward is looking into the window. There we go, see. And this second one here, this one here, went down that way. It's for some reason, and I've got it wired up, as you can see, because this is the way it grows, you see. And which is I don't mind that way, but when you've got one that's gone that way instead of the leaf coming up, it makes it a little bit awkward. Anyway, never mind. So I have to just err on the side of caution when I'm putting anything on the windowsill. And that's the Catasetum pileatum yellow giant. And those are the roots. Some point at the end of the month I will decide whether to just spritz the roots, because this pseudobulb here has started to desiccate a little, and there comes to a point where you have to spray them. You can't let them completely desiccate. So, but they're on the windowsill getting the highlight. And if we come into this corner now, these are just some of the others that are just coming along. Oh, that was that Phalaenopsis, you know, the other one that I thought had got crown rot, or the leaf behind it died, but it sent out a new one. So I'm chuffed to bits with that one. That means that that one's going to be fine. And everything else is just ticking along. This is the Epicattleya Alatilio Santa Maria. See? New growth, new roots. These go every 2 days. And then they get watered. And the reason being, of course, we've had such terrible weather with the rain. There, that's that Mazda Valley. The other one's facing the other way. Terrible, terrible rain. We've not had the flooding the same, but we've still had the rain. There's that inflorescence there, coming out of this one. There's that inflorescence there. coming out of that one. This one hasn't opened its buds yet. This was the supermarket one that I bought last week and put that in semi-hydro. And again, you see, these are not going to, can you see how it's taking that water level down? But these won't get watered, not until I see those roots have gone silver. That's doing very nicely. The other one here, remember I bought two. This one just bud blasted two. But there again, you see, we've still got good roots, but there's no water level now. Well, you can see there's a drop at the bottom, so I'm letting those dry out now. Can't run the risk. That's that little one in this basket. It's re-blooming for me. And we go down on this shelf. This is the big Sologeny Bifideense. That's a big, humongous new growth. And they're like tropical palms. And that, you see, now that, I can tell by the way, that could be watered, but it won't get watered. It won't get watered for 3 or 4 days yet. No. And that's the big Cattleya here. And this is Cattleya Pastoral Innocence. There you see. And if I pull that up, that's quite heavy. So that will definitely last a few more days. And that's the Gomza Lecco. And that's the Oncidium there. And at the back there you can just see it looks to be a Dendrobium nobile. So I must pull that out and have a look at it. And we've got some under here. Watch the time. This is that Australian species, and I put this in semi-hydro, so that can go back under there. And this is the Phragmipedium Olaf Gross, and that's in this little semi-hydro. And it's got those 2 new little growths, so that's doing fine. And stay down on my knees here for a minute. This is the big, to watch the light for you, this is the big Dendrobium delicatum, and got a bit of dust in there, a bit of sphagnum moss or something. And this is the one that goes in the garage at night time, because I need it to get the chill. I've only brought it in here just so I could show you how big it is. If I step back, it's enormous, absolutely enormous. And those 2 new growths that I had, now let me see where they are. I think they're here. There's the smallest, there's the other one, and already this one here, can you see? I've already tucked it behind the wire. So when this gets a little bit bigger, maybe to about there, I'll gently manoeuvre that one behind this wire. And then they all grow supported by that wire. Okay. Now this one is the Rinco Stylish Gigantica Peach. The light might not be very good in this area, I do apologise, but that's got a new growth, sorry, a new leaf in the middle, just about see, can you there? And I have this stick in here to give me a water level, and there's no water level, but the green growing tip's still green. So again, I won't water that until I see that green growing tip there pale. And let's have a look at this one. This is the Angraecum sesquipedale. Doing very nice. got a level of water down there. And that's doing very, very nice in this new setup. And here, I'll bring it over, is in its winter rest, and it's dropping its leaves, and that's the Fred Clark Aura SVO After Dark Black Cherry. So at some point, when it comes out of its winter dormancy, we may get flowers. So that's that one. I'll get up off my knees. So like I say, yesterday all the frags were watered, and some of these have been watered. There's that new one of the Orchid blossom, that nice little root there, and there's the Dendrobium a day, and we've got new growth there developing there as well. And of course these are the Phalaenopsis types, all doing well in this new setup here, and they've been watered this week, and I did a video earlier for you. So all in all, up to this Christmas period now, because it's a busy time, family and friends, there we go. So your orchids, in some ways, they just have to fend for themselves. They won't come to any harm. And those are the ones over there. If we look up there, everything's doing very well. So if I don't get a chance, or there's nothing other to show you now, unless we get a flower develop, which I don't think so, because I'd probably get the signs of a bud first. I'll come back after the Christmas period. So I wish you all a very happy festive season, however you're going to spend it, and may you be blessed with family and friends and good company. So from me to you, take care, and we'll be back after Christmas. Bye bye now.